You know, guys, one thing that I think most people struggle with is this is the time of year, right? Like it's at the end of the year. Things are getting a little bit more real for you. And two things are going to fall by the wayside. One is going to be your nutrition. The other thing is going to be your training. The reason why this really comes to almost like a complete halt for people is because it's the easiest thing for you to sacrifice. And this is also where the mindset component comes in. This is where people talk about separation season. They talk about the winter's arc. They talk about all these concepts. And I want to really break this down for you so that you can understand how you can stay on track. Because if you don't stay on track, guys, you're going to be then spending probably the next, I don't know, maybe January, February, trying to catch up to the things that you are doing currently at this time, in this moment. So a lot of the time when people think of, well, I've got to make some sacrifices. And the first thing that we want to sacrifice is going to be their health. Now, you don't realize what that's doing in the long run. You might think, okay, I'll spend more time with family. I won't go to the gym. I'll eat the food that they have prepared and I won't eat my own because, I don't want to be rude, right? How many times does that come up for people? Now, when you do this, what you're doing is you're building your resentment bank, right? Or your bitterness bank. And so what's going to happen in about 90 days time, about 3 months time, when you've got an extra 5 pounds, maybe 10 pounds to lose, you're going to look back and be like, why did I do that? And then you'll be angry at yourself and then you'll project it on others because you didn't feel like you could truly be honest with other people, that you didn't want it, that you wanted to spend time at the gym, that you wanted to actually stay on track, but you didn't feel like you could tell them that. And this is why people will sacrifice their health. They'll sacrifice what makes them feel good because of a people-pleasing concept, because maybe you've done it every single year. Maybe like the holidays to you has come across like it has to be family time. And if you don't spend time with your family, you are like the one that's the worst person in the world. It's not the truth. And if you can communicate things in a manner that makes more sense, then you're going to be able to get what you want, how you want it to be, and then show up even better. And so there's 3 components that I want you to think about. Number 1 is self-awareness. Number 2 is self-regulation. Number 3 is communication. When you have all 3 of these, it doesn't matter what time it is on the year, you will be able to master your circumstances and your environment. So we're going to talk about how you can do this in the form of nutrition and training. So you're going to first go self-awareness. What is it that you feel? Maybe you've just finished like a really long year of work. Maybe you've just had a lot going on for yourself. And so for you, you're going to bring some awareness to that. And then you're going to go, okay, I'm feeling a little uneasy. I feel a little deflated. I'm kind of checking in with myself and I'm going, my mindset isn't exactly strong right now. So once you do that, you're going to then go, well, what do I need? When you ask yourself what you need, you get pretty damn clear. And you know what is cool about this? You're going to go, I feel like I need a little more training. I feel like I need to be in the gym a little bit more just to like give myself that pump, that feel good, go there for the feeling. Because that's the thing, right? Most people go to the gym for the feeling that it gives them. And when they leave, they feel accomplished. That's what we're all searching for. So when you go to the gym and when you do this, you're constantly leaving with that feel good that you did something that was good for you. And then you go and give that to others. So that's why you got to prioritize yourself and become aware of that you need that, and then go and do it. In terms of nutrition, if you're like, you know what, I don't really want to kind of go and splurge or binge and go and eat a bunch of stuff that I really know I don't really want to do, what you can do at this point is you're going to become aware of yourself going, I don't want to go and sabotage all of the results that I've been chasing. So when you have specific goals in mind, then you've got to go, okay, what do I need to say no to? Saying no is one of the most powerful words that you can do, because here's the thing. Every time you say no to the shit that doesn't serve you, you're saying yes to you, which does go and serve others. There's a big difference with that. You got to fall away from your people pleasing. You really do. Now, the next thing is when you go from self-awareness, knowing what you need, knowing why you need it, then you're going to go to self-regulation. The self-regulation is the action steps that you're going to take. What that means is that if you feel like you need to go to the gym, the self-regulation is you going to the gym. If you feel like you need to eat healthier, the self-regulation is you eating healthier. If you maybe feel it's the opposite, maybe you need to take time away from the gym because you've spent so much time there all year round, you actually need to go the opposite direction where maybe you're doing a bit more outdoor activities. Maybe you're going and spending more time doing yoga, or you're doing something like meditation, you're spending more time doing things that are different to what you typically do all year round. But the thing is that you're still doing something active. Self-regulation is understanding what you're doing with the awareness that you now have. Now, the most critical component is communication. And to be honest with you, most people suck at communication because they don't know how to communicate. It's a true skill and no one works on it. So what you're going to do is you're going to become aware of yourself. You're going to look at the regulation that you need, and then you're going to communicate that with others. In other words, maybe with your family, maybe with people around you, what you're going to do is go, hey, I feel like I'm a little amped up. I feel a little defeated. I feel a little stressed. I feel a little whatever you feel. And then you say, and I know I need to do X, Y, Z, whatever it is. I need to go to the gym just to kind of feel a little bit better so I can kind of like down-regulate a little bit so I can kind of get myself into a good place. Will you understand and will you support that? Isn't that so simple? If you were to just go and give the gift of communication to someone so that they can turn around and be like, oh my gosh, yes, please go take that hour. You know what? Go take 2 hours. Most people will support you if they know why you're wanting to do it. If you communicate it and not think that people are just reading your mind and just have this idea that they know exactly what you want, how you want it to be, then you'll have more success. The reason why people don't have success at this time of year is they don't communicate it, and then they get angry at others. So there's just a ton of projection. And then you know what's happening? We're at a war of victimhood. So every single time that there's a fight, who's the first to get the victim award? That's really what people do. And that's because they don't know how to communicate and they don't know how to check in with themselves. So I'm going to encourage you at this time to think about those 3 key components. When you do this, so much changes. And the reason why this is so effective for people, and this is honestly what children need to learn in the first stage of their life, if they could, the reason why it's so effective is because it gets us to understand how to take responsibility. Most people don't like taking responsibility. You don't want to take responsibility for why you are lacking, why you lack discipline, why you lack commitment, why you lack consistency. You don't want to take responsibility for all the things that you lack. Instead, you want to go and push blame on the world as to why you don't have it. And this is why you fall short. So while we live in a world of people who are constantly the victim, who are constantly never at fault for all the things that are truly in their control, you have to kind of be the difference. And if you want to be the difference, it's all going to start with your awareness. It's all going to start with your mindset, right? This is what it all is. Mindset truly changes a person. A positive mindset is actually very easy to get. But if you're not aware of it, you think it's impossible. You think it's impossible for someone to be optimistic. You think it's kind of like, I don't know, maybe not real. You think it's fake, but it's not. It's just that someone has practiced it. Just like you've practiced being negative, just like you've practiced falling short every single holiday season, being positive, being optimistic, being disciplined is no different to you practicing being negative for your entire life. So all you have to do differently now is just start saying no at the right time and then helping people understand, right? No one understands, so therefore they're going to question you. And when you get defensive and you kind of lash out at people, you're no better. So in order for you to get what you want, communicate it. And communicate it in a way that makes sense. Communicate it in a way that isn't attacking or defending. It's literally just, it is what it is. There's a lot of power behind that. But many people don't want to see that they are solely in control of what they're saying, what they're doing, and also how it's portrayed by people around them. So I really like to tell people what I need. I always like to say, hey, you know what? I just need to go to the gym for another hour, or I need to go and do, an extra 60 minutes of getting some tasks done, or I need to go and work for a quick 30 minutes. I will communicate that. And I'll also go, if I don't do that, I'm telling you right now, it'll sit on my mind and I won't be present. I just say that to people because when I actually deliver that to people, they go, okay, well, I don't want you to not just sit here and be physically here, but not mentally here. Like, that's not fun for people. If I communicate why I'm doing it, then they're going to understand it and be like, well, I'd prefer you to be here and wholly be here, not half in, half out, because then I'm a better version of myself for them in that moment. And that's how you can be too. right? And that's what it's going to come down to. So don't spend this time now just falling short and just throwing things out the window and then being angry and then building your anger over the course of time. Because here's the thing, 2025 is right around the corner. We only have a very short amount of time left. So when you're listening to this, when you're actually watching this, you're going to see that if you don't do something different now, you're going to start 2025 with you way behind the masses, right? Most people are like, okay, I'm going to start my diet. I'm going to start my fitness trend. I'm going to start the gym. I'm going to start all these things. You're not just going to be starting by like trying to get your fitness on track. You're also going to be starting by catching up. So you're going to have to go backwards to then go forwards, and then your mindset has to catch up and your nutrition has to catch up and your fitness has to, like, that's not fun for you. When all you need to do is just be aware of yourself now, regulate yourself now, communicate yourself now. That's going to be what throws you ahead of the game. So just remember, guys, you are one decision away from a completely different life, and everything you want is on the other side of fear. So take action and make a move.